What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider interview studio at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. You two know how excited I am right now. Hazbin Hotel conversation continues. The first thing I have to say is curse words were about to dribble out of my mouth. I am going to remove them because it's still the beginning of the video. Congratulations, a season 3 and 4 renewal.
Thank you.
That's a big deal.
It's huge. Yeah. I'm properly like animated today for it because it's unreal because now I'm seeing people react because I've known for a bit, and so it's like, I was like, oh yeah, like it's happening, and then now to see everyone like actually understand like the gravity of it's hitting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, like we are going to be telling more of this story. I can't wait.
What was your reaction when you first found out? Was it
over the moon? Over the moon.
Did you expect a double renewal to come?
No, that's why I was over the moon excited. I was like, oh my, like it just as a creator in animation, like it's so precious to even get one season. Yeah. So it's unreal and an honor to get this many and to have Amazon have the faith in the show to go ahead because season 2 hasn't even come out yet, so a lot of it's based on like the response to season 1 and how season 2 is shaping up, and so I'm so proud and I'm determined to keep making the show as good as it can be because yes,
I have all the faith in the world.
Thank you.
Probably no surprise. I've got a lot of obnoxious season 2 questions, like things I need to follow up on from our previous conversations.
We got it. Yeah, it's like we know what's been cleared.
I did want to start with one thing that felt very safe, though, because one of my favorite things about the two of you and the rest of the team working on this is just how in sync everyone seems. It seems to me like you found the perfect creative partner. So looking back, can you each tell me the first thing you saw in the other that signaled to you, this is the ideal collaborator for me?
I forgot this question.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is fun. Okay.
Can I tell the box question?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, because this is so cute. So the first time, so obviously we recorded the season and everything, and the second Erica got into the booth, I was like, oh, this is just perfect. Like, you just were perfectly fit, and you were so easy to work with and so fun. But I think that moment happened, though, even, because we weren't in person for those, and they were very, that was the job and everything. So when I met you for the first time in person, it was at Sam Half's house, the songwriter, one of the songwriters for the show. And he has a very young one. And the young one had a big box that he was playing in, and he like invited you to come into one of the first things you did was like, and you were dressed really nice. You had this like lovely dress on because I think you were coming back from like a fancy event.
Some of it.
And you were like, and like you just immediately crawled into the box.
With this like 2-year-old child I just met.
And I was like, this is such an amazing person to be collaborating with right now. It was just such a great energy and such a great like first impression. Like I love it.
That's such a nice memory.
It was like our first time meeting in person. It was really
special.
special.
It said so much about you. I was like, you are such a delightful human being. Like I
will crawl into a box with your children. Like no questions asked. I feel like, I was just so inspired by the first time I was in the voice booth with Viv. Like it's really rare on day one of a project where you're like, oh, somebody knows exactly what they're going for. And like, they know how to effectively ask for what they want and how to be communicative and clear. But I was so inspired because we're like kind of the same age, but Viv is a badass female, like in this very male-dominated field, and I had just never seen. I have never seen like a young woman being like at the top that everybody was responding to with like, yes, absolutely, hear you, let's make that happen. And she did it with such like kindness and clarity. I just thought, oh wow, this is a person that I not only want to work for, but I learned just from watching how you walk through this world as a female creator. I think it's like totally inspiring, and I think young female animators are probably feeling the same way.
Thank you. That's really
it's incredible.
Sweet.
It's so cool.
Those are such nice answers.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna follow that up with
that question. That's why it's like, oh, it's cool.
It's an important question to ask always on any project. Now let's get into the stuff that you might be able to answer, you might not. Viv, last time we spoke, you told me that there's no proposed like goal, target release date. I feel like that was 2 months ago at this point. Has much changed on that front?
No.
There we go.
Animation takes time.
I respect that. I want the time to go in to make it as best as it could possibly be. So take all the time you. I mean, not too much time, but you know what I mean.
My attitude is always like kind of like the first season. It's like I know it's worth the wait. So it's a great It's a great season.
I felt like I was more comfortable telling you take all the time you need last time we spoke because I hadn't binged Hell of a Boss yet, and now I did. So now I was like, hurry up. Well, what do I binge next?
Now what I do?
Rewatching is still great. So the other thing you had told me was the production process this time around was more of a challenge because you were upping things. What exactly does upping things mean?
Oh, it's a safe one. Tell him. Well, like honestly, it's just the magnitude of the season. Like we really, we wanted it to kind of go bigger. And so I think this season it has a lot more action, and it has like some really, just like some really cool, unique challenges, and some songs that are just such fun, diverse genres that are like a little bit more visually. Like we were like, let's take this on.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it feels like just so like big and grand, because also we knew everybody better. Me and Sam and Andrew like have a well-oiled machine in terms of how we work together. So it just, I don't know, I can't hype it up more than just it's going to be bigger and grander, and there is a lot more action, which I personally, I like action. So.
I'm psyched for that. Erica, I'll throw the same question your way. Can you give me an example of something you do in season 2 that had you upping your game as a voice actor?
Ooh. I mean, I think there was a song that Sam and Andrew wrote for me that is very different because it's like a really fun, sexy song between Charlie and Baggy. And like, we haven't really seen Charlie live in like the total pop world yet. And I think I'm allowed to say season 2 has more songs.
I think so.
No? Celia? No? Got that? Season 2 has a song.
I think actually someone did say we could say that.
We say that.
Anyway.
But there is a song and like a scene into a song that just like lives in a different stylistic place than Erica do, or that Charlie has in season 1. So that was fun to tap into. I had to kind of channel like my best. I feel like I like listened to some Shakira like leading up to it. Yeah, there was like the musical influence of that was different. So that was super fun. I feel like that was maybe the most stylistically different I've done.
The fun of doing so much music and so much music with all the characters is like the challenge of like, how can we make this more fun and different? Yeah. And I definitely think season 2 steps up to that for sure.
Now, having seen and been obsessed with Hazbin for so long, and having seen Hell of a Boss too, the possibilities, they're like truly endless. Like there is no end to your creative brain, and it makes me so happy. Eric, I have another question for you. I want to ask about Lilith, because I'm assuming Lilith is going to be a bigger part of the story. I wanted to think about a semi-safe way to get at this. Mm-hmm. At the end of season 1, what do you think Charlie wants to see most in her mother, whether she winds up getting it or not?
I think she just wants to see her.
I was gonna say, I literally think that's the answer.
I think she just wants, which is like
my heart.
Oh, my heart. But I really just think she needs to see her. She wants to see her. I think Viv probably knows the answer beyond that.
Oh yeah.
But like where I live, I just try and live. I asked Viv to not tell me things because I don't want to play the end before we get there.
Yeah.
So like right now, what I just live in is sort of that idea of she just wants to see her mom. She just wants to see Mama.
I want her to see her mom.
Yeah.
Then I feel like, I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but I say that, and then I feel like I'm going to regret it. Like, she's going to hurt her, disappoint her or something.
That, but I know.
The challenge is you never know. I like hurting people.
But it's life. It's like sometimes the people who love you hurt you the most.
Yeah, it's real. So
it's too real. It's too real. Like all this stuff is too real.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these questions are going to be prefaced. I don't know if you can answer this. But we were talking a little bit about character backstory and who we'll learn more about in terms of how they died. Can you tell me any specifics in terms of who you're prioritizing with that kind of material?
You know, that's safe. I actually really like the way you phrased that with the prioritization, because like for me, I really, so, you know, some of the characters I've had for a very long time, and some of the information about them is kind of out there. And one of those characters is Alistair. I've had him for so long, and I've developed him as a character for so long that people kind of know his backstory. And so it was a very high priority for me to canonize that backstory, because that's very full circle for me, just not only as a storyteller, but also just having this character for so long. So I'm very excited for people to see like the legitimately on-screen canon version of his backstory, because, you know, I've just had it for so long. So very excited for that.
I'll take that. All right, so I passed with that question. Let's see what happens with this one. So at the end of season 1, Serpentius goes to heaven. So he's in heaven right now. I have to imagine that means we're going to spend more time in heaven. How would you break down how much time we're going to spend in heaven versus hell?
Ooh.
Oh, you know, I think, again, the safest answer will probably be that we just spend more time in heaven than we did in season 1.
Fair enough.
Because, you know, he's an important character, and we obviously, like, those are characters that, you know, we met in season 1. And so now he's up there with them. And so, you know, I'm really excited for people to see that, because it's a whole different dynamic, whole different setting to like spend time in.
Different design. I love
Yeah,
the
the
design
visual
element.
design.
Like, it's just such a cool, like, visually pleasing thing to go from heaven to hell. The way Viv's designed it and her artists have designed it, it's like one of my favorite things, that contrast in season 1. So
It's very fun.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, when we're looking at all the assets for one setting versus the other, it feels like two different, like, completely different shows almost. Yeah.
So I like those transitions. I also think it could be really exciting to transition to all the different layers of hell, which I now firmly understand. So technically, Charlie can go to the other layers.
Yes. The rules of it is that Hellborns can go wherever they want in hell, and she is that. And so, you know, she can go, and Lucifer can go, and all them, but the sinners cannot. So that's very, very, very important rules, is that the sinners can only stay in Pride, which is where the whole of Hazbin takes place.
Okay, so 2 questions. One for you that you probably won't answer, one for you that you can answer.
oh dear. Okay.
In the near future, maybe season 2, will we see any layer from Hell of a Boss or any of those characters come into play in Hazbin?
I'm really excited to just like explore what that could look like someday, but not in season 2. No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right,
Hazbin
so
is Hazbin.
Erica,
is
for
Hazbin.
you,
Oh, boy.
if you could snap your fingers and create a scene between Charlie and one Hell of a Boss character, which character would you pick and why?
And it's just because I think she's my favorite, Luna.
Oh, that would be fun.
I don't actually
That'd be
know what we would
interesting.
talk about, but like Luna, I just want to be in a scene.
That would just
with
be a
Luna.
fun interaction, because
Yeah,
the
that's what I-
personalities are kind of polar opposites.
They're exactly. That's why
So
I'm like, it's
that's
not who
really
I think
fun.
she would get along with the best. I just think it would be fascinating to see.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like the 2 of them would just have a good time.
Right? Yeah. As soon as they connect on that one thing, then it would work. Yeah.
Or Fizz.
I feel like
Fizz
they
would be
get
fun.
along.
Fizz would be chaotic.
Fizz would be chaotic. Fizz would be like, let's just be loud.
It would be.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like any combination of characters on
Yeah.
both
That would
be
shows
so
like
fun.
would be loud.
Would be loud.
Okay, to broadly tease season 2, you have done all of your voice work. You
Yes.
obviously know all the scripts. Is there a single episode of season 2 that you are most looking forward to having fans see?
That's a fun one, because I could probably say it, and it, you know, you won't know until it comes out. So personally, I'm a little biased. I really like episode 5.
Which one is that? No.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. I'll tell you after.
I don't remember. You explain why. Explain why.
It's very grand. It's very cool, and just involves a lot of characters I really personally like.
I remember which one she's talking about. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, great.
Okay, I'll take that. You have to answer too.
I like, they kind of have blended. So can I share? This is not a spoiler, but I've gotten to see a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
I think I am excited for. Is it the penultimate, episode 7?
Yeah.
Episode 7. It's the same thing. Reason why I liked episode 7 in season 1 is that like we're building. Like I just like the tension, and I think
There's a lot of fun tension,
Yeah.
and like that final, you know, because you also like, it's like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
So
Hazbin does a really good job of building that tension, I think, and like I was worried. I was like, well, how are we going to create that again to like get us to the end with as big a finish as we did in season 1? And of course they do, and they achieve it
Yeah,
off the
very
charts in
excited.
episode 8, but like I'm always impressed by the step before, the one that gets us there, and that's episode 7.
I
Yeah.
want to keep you two here forever. And I feel like I've been greedy with you this Comic-Con. I'll end with one more question about the season 3 and 4 renewal, especially, you finished season 1, you are well on your way with season 2. Is there anything about knowing the fact that you are getting 3 and 4? Is there something about that you think will serve the animation process well?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, anyone who works in animation, getting technical for a second, knows that it's so long. Like, it is such a long process, and so the sooner you can get started on a new season, if you know, the better. So knowing that we have 3 and 4, and they can just kind of roll into each other, I feel like just in a general, in a production sense, like in a, the artists that we have on staff, it's going to be easier for them to stay on the show, because anyone who also works in animation knows, when your role kind of ends and there's not something immediately to jump onto, you go off and you look for other work. So it'll be easier to maintain the voice between those 2 seasons, I think, because the artists will probably stick around. And so, just on every level, it's really helpful. So I'm excited for that too. It's great.
I'm so excited. I'm literally trying to staple my feet to the floor and not jump for joy right now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm so excited. Seasons 2, 3, and 4. That's huge.
So much story to tell, and I'm so excited to tell
I'm going to be blabbing about every single ounce of it with you both. I can promise you that. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excited.